What's up, y'all? Make sure my audio's working. Perfect. I don't think there will ever be a day where I'm not paranoid that my audio is not working. Especially when I record a demo. But it's working, so we're good. How y'all doing, though? Because I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I was an emotional wreck watching Epiphany's tribute. Oh, man. And I knew I would be. I knew I would be yesterday, because all it took yesterday for me to cry was Elizabeth getting the news, and we didn't even hear the conversation, really. But, that got me, so, like, from the jump of the start of this episode, I was a mess. Yeah, I'll wait for y'all to come in. This stream is about the 60th anniversary of GH, so it's gonna be a good one. We are watching the very first episode of General Hospital together. I've reacted to it before on a non-live. In fact, the very first episode of GHMV Reacts was the first episode of GH. But back then I wasn't live streaming, so I thought it would be fun to do it together. And it's a good day to do it. It's a good day. Or a good time to do it. But before we do, obviously we're going to talk about today's episode. No, hey Kaiwan, I just turned on the cam. You're good. You're good. You're just on time. Whew. It's so funny. If anything, I'm a little bit late. I was going to start at 9:30. I ended up starting at like 9:36. My time, by the way. Oh. But yeah, it's been an emotional day, y'all. Do you mean why they didn't mention Epiphany's son? If that's what you mean, then no, they didn't mention him. Interestingly enough. Okay, so 11:30 your time, 9:30 my time. But no, you're just in time. I was 6 minutes late, so your time 11:36 is when I started. And even then, it was still on the loading screen, so you're good. We're all here just in time. But no, they didn't mention Epiphany's son, which I think is okay. You know, none of the GH cast members that are on now really interacted with Stan that much, except for Spinelli. Spinelli and Stan interacted a bit. And Spinelli was on, but he didn't have a single line. Same with Sam. So I'm thinking maybe they just wanted to be there to be a part of the episode, just to pay respects to Sonia, which is great. But yeah, you guys, I was bawling like a baby. Like, I mean, first of all, they started with the instrumental of "You're Not Alone." And we see Elizabeth bringing flowers. We see Felix literally having a breakdown in the locker room. That's when I started to cry, when Felix was crying. What exactly is the plot of the first episode? It's really... Essentially, it's just doctors being doctors. There is a very troubled patient who I'm pretty sure I used in my thumbnail. You see Steve Harvey interacting with a patient. I believe that's what I put for the final thumbnail of this video. And that's the troublesome patient. Just how the staff is handling her. There isn't much to it. It's 21 minutes long. But I thought it was a good way to pay homage to the 60th anniversary, which is this Saturday, I believe. And by the way, I couldn't find the second episode, so I'm assuming it's not on here. I didn't put it on the thumbnail, but I also have Lucy's, essentially Lucy's debut. I think she might have been around for a little bit on the show at this point, but we see her become the Lucy that we know today in the scene that I have lined up here. So yeah. But yeah, before we watch that stuff though, I did want to see what y'all thought of today's tribute to Sonia Eddy and Epiphany Johnson. Just because, I mean, I just want to feel better about myself because I cried the entire time. And then I had to watch it again when my mom got home from work. So I cried twice, y'all. Ha 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 ha. Man, oh man. It was kind of a ripoff of the actor from Young and the Restless. I mean, every funeral is going to essentially be the same, you know? Like, especially when it involves an actor dying. They have to do it all of a sudden. Yeah, it's a quiet chat today, Kaiwan. There's like 8 people, but you're... Oh! You and Edmund. Today's episode was beautiful, I agree. Yeah, no, it's a quiet chat. I can see people are here, but they're just, you know, taking it all in, which is perfectly fine. Yesterday was disastardly. Yeah, I agree with that. The only good thing about yesterday's episode was Elizabeth's concern for not hearing from Epiphany, really. I will say Cameron's goodbye party was a joke. Because it was all about... Essentially, it was all about propping Esme. They didn't even bring Jake and Aiden to the damn party and made up some excuse as to why they weren't there. But on the plus side, it does appear that he's only going to be gone for the summer, I guess, and then he'll be popping in and out sporadically after that. Just focusing on his last bit of school, I guess, was what was said. It was a skippable episode. I kind of, you know, I felt bad for Cam in the sense that, like, I really thought it was the last time we were going to see him, and he didn't even really get to have, like, a good final moment with his friends or anything. No, like, big emotional hugs and this and that. It was all about, like, him trying to convince Esme to grab hold of her new life. Days of Our Lives, I had a teenage character. Doing what? Some people were confused why Spinelli and Sam was there. I'm like, you didn't think they had scenes with Epiphany before? Yeah, true. Well, to be honest, I think... And hey, Angel, by the way. I mean, I honestly think that maybe they just wanted to be there for the episode and they showed up and they didn't really... You know, nothing really needed to be said. We know that Spinelli and Epiphany have had funny scenes in the past, for sure. The one that I can remember, like, the one that comes to mind straight away is, and I can't, Sonny got hurt. Sonny got shot or something, and he was brought into the hospital. Spinelli brought him in, and then Sonny was, like, kind of out of it, and he said something incriminating. And Epiphany just looks at Sonny, and then Spinelli just decides to start beatboxing to what he said. And Epiphany asked him if he had a head injury, and that's the scene that I can remember straight away. Kaiwan, you said, oh, teenager left for a while, but was in love with a crazy girl. I mean, since we know that Cameron's not gone, it wouldn't surprise me if they end up putting him with Esme down the road. Finola cared for Sonia. They all cared about Sonia. I don't know if you guys seen it. Maybe I'll try to find it if you didn't. But there was actually a news segment on one of the ABC News channels about Sonia, and they interviewed the cast, a lot of the cast members about her, including Kirsten Storms, Lynn Herring, Maurice, who else? Donnell, Rebecca Herbst, and Finola. I don't think I'm forgetting anyone. Maybe. But, like, for sure those 6. And they were all pretty emotional talking about her. I think Kirsten and Becky were the most emotional when they were talking about her. Even I was getting choked up watching that news segment. But obviously, I think it was very obvious that the cast, and probably the crew too, really cared about her. Just judging by everyone's thoughts when Sonia initially passed away. But yeah, today's episode was beautiful. And Becky, oh my gosh, Becky this episode, and at the end of yesterday's episode, Becky absolutely killed it. Oh my gosh. Like, it's interesting. I always find it interesting when the show has to do a funeral because an actor passes away. Kevin will be back in the summer. Okay. But yeah, I like, because you know that these are her friends in real life as well as on the show. So you wonder how much of that kind of like spills into the episode. And you could definitely sense it, particularly with Becky. And she said in the interview that I saw that, you know, she's the head nurse on the show, but she was kind of like the mama bear to the cast. That's head nurse Liz now. Yeah. I actually really like that. We need to talk about how she found that out, because Leslie Charlson, Monica, was on the show today. She was on GH today, in audio only, but we actually heard her voice on the phone with Elizabeth, and she read what was Epiphany's letter that she was planning to hand in to the board for Elizabeth. And oh my gosh, so fitting. So I'm assuming, it was honestly, as soon as I heard Leslie Charlson, I broke down in absolute tears, because what a shock. Because how long have we been talking about, all of us, like, where is Leslie? Is she okay? We've not heard or seen anything about what, like, if she's okay, if her health is bad, this and that. And you know, she sounded pretty healthy over the phone, you know? I think the characters on the first episode are grandparents. Well, we don't see Audrey, but we do see Steve in the first episode, and Steve is Elizabeth's grandfather. The most flawed and unprofessional nurse on the show is now head nurse. You know what? But at the same time, Obrecht was the chief of staff, and so was Britt. So, it checks out. I actually don't mind that they're making Elizabeth the head nurse. Because, what are they going to do? Make Deanna or, Amy? They can't make Bobby. Bobby's, I'm assuming, a head nurse elsewhere in a different department. Edmund, you said it was so good to hear Monica's voice. She did an incredible job reading the letter. Yeah. We didn't see her, but she acted that perfectly. I think the patient is Audrey. No, she's not. Audrey actually doesn't appear until, I think, the next year. Because GH aired April 1st, 1963. But I don't think, oh my gosh, Rachel Ames, who played Audrey, appeared till the following year. Can't believe we heard Monica's voice. Yeah, so, like, I kid you not. I mean, I cried throughout the whole episode, like I said. But the thing that hit me the hardest was hearing Monica's voice, because I didn't expect that. I mean, obviously, I didn't expect to see Emma, too. That was a nice surprise as well. But Monica hit me hard, and I was just, like, I was already, like, you know, tears down my face, you know, throughout the episode. But then as soon as I heard Monica, I literally was like, Monica! It was just, like, shaking on my couch. Like, I was just so distraught. I think my grandmother looked at me sideways. But, oh my gosh. Liz avoided prison time, losing her job, and got a recommendation for head nurse. White privilege. Yeah, but also, you know, it does check out that she does have the respect of the majority of the people that work with her. She's good friends with the majority of the staff there. She's been a nurse for, like, what, 20 years now almost. Also love the scene with Felix and Brad holding hands. I hope we see more of them. Emma's so grown now. Emma, oh my gosh, Brooklyn is so gorgeous. What a gorgeous girl she's growing up to be. And yet she, like, weirdly looks the same. You know what I mean? She still has that, like, cutesy innocent thing about her. But she's so tall, and she sounds so grown up now. I can, like I can remember her when she still had the, like, that childlike voice, you know? Man. I'm joking, by the way, y'all. It's all good, Angel. It's all good. Elizabeth and Scott are only two real legacy characters connected to the hospital. Yeah, true at this point. Yeah, the Webbers and the Baldwins, man. And she's technically both. And a Hardy. And a March. Just like Monica said. Emma, you hope they keep Emma on the show? I don't think she's gonna be on the show. I think she could. Because I think the last time they've mentioned Emma, she's already graduated high school and going into college now. Don't want Felix with Brad. Felix was with Lucas last time we saw. Yeah, I'm torn because... Well, first of all, they showed a flashback of Epiphany telling Felix that he could do better than Brad. You know what I mean? So... And obviously, that's what Felix was remembering. So... I don't want him with him. I want Brad and I want Felix to have someone, but not each other. And we don't know that Felix is with Lucas. They just went out together to have a drink. And even that seemed more like a friend thing. Jakey said, yes, I love that Monica was the one who read that letter to Liz. I'm glad Leslie's okay. I hope she's okay physically, though. Yeah, I mean, obviously, we still don't know a whole lot about what's going on with her, but it's a relief to at least hear that she can still, you know, be Monica, even if it is over the phone. Brad should be... Oh, we're going to bring Brad a Brad. Hold on. Oh, they were going to bring Brad a father? Were they? We got his aunt. Oh, man. I don't know. It is nice to see that Brad is around. I would like to see Felix around at least just as much as Brad. But neither of them are... I mean, Felix we see once a year during the nurses' ball. Would love to see him more often. Man. But yeah, I don't know. Overall, the Epiphany tribute was beautiful. I like that they kind of had her go out as a hero. You know, she saw an accident, she saved someone's life, but all the smoke and fire, it affected her lungs and heart. And, you know, they brought up her heart disease, which we know about because that was one of her stories back in the day. Yeah, that plays Felix is the comedian In and Out. Felix is hot. We need more Felix. Yeah, Felix, the actor that plays him, is quite handsome. But yeah. But yeah, like I said, I like that Epiphany went out as a hero. And it was cool that we had her real life friend play the girl that was saved by Epiphany on the show for the accident. And I like that they had her memorial in the hospital chapel. Find Milo. Yeah, we got to talk about Milo, Magic Milo, making an appearance. And I like that they had Felix, or sorry. I like that they had Milo and Marshall interact. And the cute little, like, who is that gentleman? That's Epiphany's ex-boyfriend. And Marshall just looked like, shit, really? I like that because you can tell Marshall was like, that? Damn. I had no chance. Oh, man. But yeah. I do, like, if I were to critique the episode in any kind of way, obviously there was some people there that I wish, or there was people that weren't there that I wish could have been there, such as Robin and Patrick. Obviously, their work schedules, it didn't pan out. I would have liked to see the show try to swing Billy D. Williams, who played Toussaint, but I knew that was very unlikely. Portia's conversation with Marshall was really interesting. I like that. Oh man, like she really. Portia's good for Marshall. And, you know, Marshall was beating himself up, blaming himself for Epiphany's death because, you know, if he hadn't pushed her to become a doctor, she wouldn't have been on that road. And she set him straight. You know what? No, you made Epiphany's dream that she put off for decades a reality. She went out achieving her dream. Kelly and Lainey too. Yeah, I would have loved to see Kelly and Lainey and Robin. It would have been nice. It would have been so nice. Is the character Bill is the character that Jason Thompson plays, right? Do you think Portia and Marshall might have an affair? No. I think she honestly sees him as like almost a bit of a father figure to herself, or like as a grandparent. Maybe more of a father figure. Like, yeah, she does have her own dad, but I think she sees him as family, and I feel like I don't see them, you know, canoodling anytime. And I don't think that Marshall would do that to his son, considering he's been out of his life for 40 years. Liking the background music, yeah, it's very, you know, upbeat. Keeping the vibes going through all the emotions. But yeah, like I said, I wish that there could have been certain characters that appeared there. Where was Amy, by the way? You know, like I'm surprised Amy wasn't there because Deanna was there, Felix was there. Amy's kind of like the part of that trio. Wanna double? It's gonna be a continuity with the other episodes today. Yeah, exactly, Angel. That's just a nasty ass thought. Oh man. But oh, Amy wasn't invited? That's actually shocking. That's crazy. Cuz like Amy and Epiphany sang together at the nurses' ball a couple times too. Cuz they, you know, out of the nurses they probably have the best two voices. Maybe the actress for Amy was busy. Whatever the reason, you know, it was a little bit sad that she wasn't there. I wonder if she'll be there for the nurses' ball. It'd be weird if she isn't. But yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed today's episode. I think that it was done brilliantly. They had enough of the cast there. I feel like the only unnecessary cast member was kind of Carly and Nina, to be honest. They didn't have to be there. They barely interacted. I don't think Nina and Epiphany ever even crossed paths. Carly, like, yeah, they've been on the show pretty much as long as each other. But, like, they've never had any pivotal scenes with each other, I don't think. You know what I mean? So they really want us to believe that Liz planned this memorial within 24 hours. So I think... No. I think one of the characters said that it's been a few days since they've seen Eileen. So I think there's actually been a couple days that have passed in between when Elizabeth found out about Epiphany and the memorial. Because when talking about Eileen, they said she's been incognito for a few days. I think they just wanted to make it make sense. The thing is, I don't think they have half the staff that really even involved. They have no hospital. Yeah, they don't really have much hospital staff. So that's what I'm saying. Like, the ones that are, like, you would think that they would be the priority in there. You know what I mean? No, didn't Epiphany treat Nina as a patient a couple months ago? Did she? Maybe. I might have blocked it out. Nina was there for Sunny, most likely. I guess. Obrecht being involved is kind of funny. I didn't mind it given what they had her do. Man, they really had Epiphany go out with a bang by having Liesel set up some illegal fireworks. And I love that Epiphany was like, yeah, I'll leave that to Obrecht. But yeah. And Diane being there as the executor of Epiphany's will made sense as well. And we got to see... I heard Diane mention following Robert as the other night. Yeah, so... Oh, the other night, yeah. So it's... But I don't think... Well, so clearly that wasn't last night, though. So it's been at least a couple days. Eileen's just a memory now. May she rest wherever she is. I think... I don't know if I misviewed the preview, but I feel like Sunny is the one that might end up stumbling onto Eileen's body. I wonder, were Epiphany's ashes in the rockets? Oh my god, please no. Why are they illegal fireworks? I think it's illegal to set off fireworks and without the city's permission in certain states. Is Eileen alive? Could she swim? We'll find out tomorrow. I actually don't know. But I mean, if Sunny's coming upon her body and it's been a couple of days, I don't think she's alive. Eileen, she had a very interesting, pretty, and very dynamic type of common sense. She was very striking. Is it illegal to set off fireworks in New York? Possibly. I feel like I did hear that that is the case somewhere. I can't remember who said it and when someone said it. Hey, Albert, what's up? I was actually watching Albert and DC's live stream before I went live here. I know, funny enough, what you guys were talking about, by the way, about like GH or like soap YouTubers not being in competition with each other. We literally were having that conversation with each other on the chat on Sunday about how, like, everyone has their own thing, and like in the sense that we all bring something to the table, like in that sense there is no competition. And I think that we're all very respectful for each other. So that's why I wanted to like chime in, because I was like, we were, this stream was chatting about that on the weekend. So I like that you guys were chatting about it too. Oh, you live in New York and it is illegal. Okay, well, there you go. Don't they shoot fireworks on the 4th of July? But yeah, but they would probably have permission by the city to do that. Unlike, the holidays and such. But I think if you were just randomly setting off fireworks, it must be illegal there. I don't think that's the case here, because I hear fireworks all the time in my city. And if it is illegal, then they don't care. But my poor dog hates fireworks, so anytime fireworks go off near my house, he's just a mess. Kaiwan, you listen to all the GH podcasts between all of you. Yeah, we're all different styles. That's why I appreciate it. Had to talk about you because I'm always, well, I appreciate that, Albert. Man, yeah, I try to watch. I can't always watch live. I try to, if I'm like on the computer, and I'm like setting up my own live, and I see that one of you guys are live. I'll like have it on in the background as I'm like getting my own stuff ready, which is what I was doing when I came onto your stream. And that was literally like the part of the conversation that I kind of got like started on or tuned in on. In Kansas City, it's illegal to fire your own fireworks, but the police don't enforce it on the 4th of July. The street looks like gunpowder and it sucks to drive during the night. Ooh. What do you think about the show as Scotty would never adopt? What do you mean? Did I miss something? Oh man. Alright. Trying to think of like final thoughts for the Epiphany tribute though. Beautifully done. I definitely cried lots. I like that they had Sonia's rendition of You're Not Alone. Hopefully me and you can do a collab together at some point. Absolutely, I'm so down. Oh, Scotty. Was Scotty adopted? See, I gotta brush up on my GH history in some senses. I just know, like, Scott... Wait, I feel like... Hold on. Is Lee Baldwin Scott's biological father and Gail's not his biological mother? Is that... I feel like maybe... Is that it? Listening to each one of you about GA, just like talking to a different friend about the same show. Yeah, exactly. Like that's why I think that there isn't really competition in that sense, because we all have different opinions. Maybe we have some similar opinions, but also, we all have different opinions in the chat too. So it's I feel like everyone kind of respectfully can agree to disagree. Because at the end of the day, we're just chatting about it. It's a soap. You know, we're gonna hear different opinions. I know well, some of y'all come for me when I talk good about Cody. Okay, I get it. He's not loved. I just have a crush on him. That's all. Oh, adopted stepfather from another lady. Serena Baldwin and Karen that used to strip for Sonny. Are they still alive? Karen isn't alive, I think. Right? Because that's Scott's whole thing with Sonny. Like what happened to Karen. Edmund, you said you cried when you saw Epiphany's picture on the memorial wall. I cried during that too, but I just was consistently crying. Like, God, I was a mess, and like I was trying to hold it together. When I'm like crying, if I'm like trying to hide it from like my grandmother or my mom, I just like try to cough. Otherwise, it'll just come out as like an ugly cry. Well, that's what I'm saying. Karen's dead, and that's why, like, you know what Sonny did to her when she was alive. That's why Scott's always had it in for Sonny, right? Oh man. All right, but now that we've gotten Epiphany's memorial episode out of the way, let's do what we came here to do. We're here to celebrate 60 years of General Hospital, and we are doing that by reacting to the very first episode of General Hospital. Lord, hopefully it doesn't cut out the stream. But yeah, I thought it would just be fun to do that. Obviously, the show itself, General Hospital, is going to be celebrating after the first, because the first falls on the weekend, and it's celebrating by bringing back the Nurses Ball. And the only thing we know about the Nurses Ball in terms of like what's going to go down is Magic Milo is going to be an act, and odds are Dex and Cody are going to be among the men that dance with Milo. We know that Joss and Trina are performing together. And I think that's all we know. Which I don't mind. I like being surprised. I like being surprised when it comes to the Nurses Ball. I'm still holding out hope for some surprise appearances. 60 years. Yeah, right, Jake? 1963. 1963, y'all. But yeah, like I really hope that GH has a few surprises under the belt that we're not aware of. I mean, for starters, I think they kept it well kept secret that Emma was returning to today's show, because I didn't know, and of course I didn't know that Leslie Charleston would be appearing in voice. And like I mentioned earlier, that got me emotionally, because I'm such a fan of all the veterans on the show, and I've been legitimately concerned for Leslie Charleston, because we've not heard a peep from anyone saying anything about her, if she's doing okay. So just to hear her voice was such a relief that I just wailed when I heard her voice today. Hey Nathan. All right. But yeah, let me set up this episode. Make sure everything works out okay audio-wise. Turn my mood music off. Make me a little bit smaller, hopefully. I hope. Is this working? Oh, I'm just messing up my whole screen. There we go. Okay. I think I got it. Okay. All right. Here we go. There. Let me know if it's too loud, guys, as well. Nathan, you're worried about ES? You mean like MSMs? Oh yeah, Holly. More destruction and death is coming her way, unfortunately. I mean, it's definitely not good that Victor knows the truth. We'll talk about that Sunday.
The towel over the mirror.
I just wonder if she's okay. Her voice sounded robotic.
You know, if you realize it, you're a lucky girl. You're lucky to be alive.
Jesse Brewer, you guys.
You're so young. Honey, what do you do it for?
The OG head nurse.
You know why.
Well, when did he have his last medication? Oh. Well, I have to check with Dr. Hardy. I'll get back to you. Okay.
Dr. Brewer, that's right.
Oh, Dr. Hardy.
What is it, Phil?
About the coronary in 723, Mr. Gold. He's begging for more sedation.
Is that his charge?
Yes.
Steve, the legend
I'll
himself.
see him in a few moments.
All right, thank you, Doctor.
I forget the other actor's, or the other character's name.
Emergency?
I was reading him the chart. Let's say he sounded okay to me, Angel.
How is she, Jesse?
Still fighting everybody and everything. She wants to live in the dark and never see her face again. That's about what she was doing when I went in. The blinds all drawn, towel over the mirror.
Sorry, I'm also trying not to talk too much over it. She sounded okay to me. I don't know. It was pre-recorded, but I think that was just to get the quality of the sound in.
Hi. You know, if you were 8 instead of 18, I'd say, what's the matter, Angie? The cat got your tongue?
Heather Weber was in this too. In this
Your
episode?
face is going to be all right.
I don't remember
All
her.
right.
I don't remember her being in this episode.
Don't get out with the cheers, Dr. Hardy. I just can't take it.
Angie, you listen to me.
Because she would have had to been really young if she
You want to
was.
go riding with your boyfriend after he's been drinking, and there's a smash-up. How can you complain about your face? You're lucky to be alive.
There with a face like I've got.
We'll take care of your face, I promise.
You promise I won't be awful looking for the rest of my life?
The plastic surgeon will do what he can. They perform miracles these days.
That's what I gotta look forward to. A miracle.
This is a hospital, Angie. We've got real problems here.
I remember on the 30th anniversary, they actually brought this patient
I just don't want to be horrible
back.
looking
The
for the
actress
rest of
that
my
played her
life.
as well, Angie.
Look, your face will be healed in a few days, and we'll take off the bandages. We'll know how we stand after the plastic surgeon's had a look at it.
I don't want anybody to
Nope,
see
that
my
is definitely not Heather. Heather would have
I don't even
been, like,
wanna
this is
see it
1963, so Heather would have been a
Just leave
baby.
the bandages on her.
Because she was, like, in her 20s when she first appeared on the show, I
You'll have to
believe.
get used to your face. However,
In the 80s.
come back into the world again. Live again.
Who wants to be alive with a face like this? That
Angel,
window
you
is
said
dead.
hard to believe that a soap that only lasted 30 minutes in black and white, focusing on a hospital, turned into the soap we have now. Yeah, what a weird transformation. I mean, I do hope, I do want the show to focus more on the hospital than they do. But, you know, they've strayed away from the hospital since the 80s, you know? It's not nothing
Sorry,
new.
I'm late. My office is
I think
right
it's
down.
strayed way too
Thank you,
far.
Dr. Hardy.
We can talk quietly there.
I have a dinner appointment, Dr. Hardy.
So have I.
Yeah, so this was Steve Hardy's woman before Audrey came into the picture. Though I don't know,
How's my darling?
I don't know what split these two up.
How's my darling?
Oh, a little beat. Oh, but don't get me wrong. I'm looking forward to tonight.
Well, let's get out of here before someone finds out you're leaving.
Well, I'll get out of these things. It'll only take a minute.
I brought you a flower for your buttonhole.
Ooh, a kiss on the cheek. It was doomed already. Oh, it strayed. It strayed damn far.
Chicken, nice string beans, and applesauce. Oh, it would tempt a bird. You just gotta eat, child, if you're gonna be a pretty girl again.
Scott Baldwin's father was his mother's stepfather that she slept with. I need to look up the Baldwin history, yo.
This can't go on, Angie. You're disrupting the entire floor, disturbing all the other patients, making a nuisance of yourself to everyone.
Sorry. I just can't help it. I can't stand to think what's going to happen to me. Tomorrow, next year, or ever.
How about crossing one bridge at a time? I'll send up another supper tray and see you in the morning.
Are you going off duty?
Yes, I am.
Please, Dr. Hardy, don't go. Please. Please.
Angie, stop it.
Which nurse? Kaiwan.
Don't go. Everything is such a mess. Please. Please
Now,
don't
wait a
go.
minute, Angie. There's nothing wrong with you, and there's no reason for me to stay tonight. You've got to grow up, Angie, starting right away. We've done what we can for you, and we'll do whatever we can for your face. There's nothing wrong with you. So grow up, Angie.
Seventh floor. So I think GH back then was all about the 7th floor nurses station as well. Like they never showed the other floors until much later.
Something tells me that you and a certain doctor
Black
are
nurse
going
didn't age well.
in
Well, I
and
don't.
the theater.
We don't even know where she is or
That
what her
certain
name
doctor
was,
can tear himself away from this place. You don't have too much
or if she was even a regular character. Maybe some people know. I don't
think of all
know.
the times I've waited for film. He's only an intern. I guess it's an occupational hazard of being a doctor's wife. I suppose it is. Well, I don't mind, though. After all, Phil's doing what he wants to do, and that's the important thing. Well, we've had 5 years together. Hasn't been so bad. He'll be right along, Peggy. 7th floor. Yes, Dr. Norton. What, did you call him at home after 8? Yes. Fine.
I do like that. I think it was either the 52nd anniversary of the show.
It was about one of your
They
cases.
had Becky, Jason Thompson, and
Well, I thought I'd stop on the way home.
Ryan Keynes play the 3 characters that we see on the on this episode, and they recreated the
But not every
scenes.
night, yes.
and then threw in the Spencer family history between the scenes that they showed.
Honey, I'm sorry. I just couldn't get to the market before I came on duty.
Oh, I'm not complaining. You work as hard as
Even
I do.
recreated the set
Only
as
thing is,
similar
you
as they
don't,
could.
eat as much as I do or as often. Forget it.
Phil? You know what I'm going to do Sunday?
What they
up
should do
late.
for the 10th
Get
anniversary?
up early. And I'm going
Well,
to
the 10th anniversary
What, hamburger?
has come and
I'm
gone.
going to cook you all the things that your mother made.
But if you're talking about the past 10th
Oh, yeah,
anniversary,
I can't wait until I finish my internship.
I don't know what they
I'm
did.
tired of grubbing. I think you are, too. I'll see you later.
See, to me, Steve's girlfriend here looks rich and snobby and, like,
I'm sorry, Peg.
I was beginning to worry. But if we don't linger over
doesn't
dinner,
seem
we'll
to
still make
care
the trip.
about how much he
Don't you
cares
worry,
about his
nothing's going to
job.
stop us tonight. Nothing. This is our night.
Steve, I could
Yeah, Becky did play
but not
Jessie.
here.
And Liz, yeah, Liz essentially is the Jessie of this generation.
7th floor. Yes, can I just message? Dr. Hardy, it's for you. Can't you tell him he's left?
This is Dr. Hardy. What's that? How high did his blood pressure go? Well, that's strange. He ought to be having a good reaction by now.
Ryan, what do you
I'd better see
mean?
it. Yes, now. I'm sorry, Peg. I've got to look in on a patient.
You mean for a minute?
It'll be longer than that. He's not responding to medication properly. I want to find out why.
Steve, why is it always you?
Look, Peg. It's my job. I prescribed the treatment and it's not working out. I have to find out what the reason is.
Can't someone else find out?
Dr. Hardy, calling Dr. Hardy.
I'm sorry, Peg. Oh, maybe you could find someone else to go with you.
You think that would be the same thing?
Well, no, Peg. But I wouldn't enjoy myself if I went.
Okay, I
I'd
think
feel-
what's interesting
Hey,
about it
try
is
to
that, like,
understand.
clearly,
I am
like, they're
trying.
talking about how April
Look,
1st,
things would be a lot
1963 is
different after we're married.
the anniversary of the day
Your
the
patients
hospital
will always
opened, but,
come from
like,
Clinton.
clearly this
Hey.
hospital's been open for a while, judging by this first episode. But I think just to call it a milestone, you know?
Good night, Steve.
Well, Dr. C would have had an affair with the other nurse, and that's why he's not married to this lady right here. Well, no, I think she was long gone out of the picture by the time Audrey even met Steve.
These tickets are for tonight. We can't use them after all. Perhaps someone on the staff can.
Well, what about you, Peggy?
I'm going home.
Like, they were already on the rocks the first episode. I doubt they lasted long. And here we have the Patrick Drake of the generation. Except I think, and
Are you ready?
Yeah, just about 1 second.
Well, the lucky stiffs who belong to these.
I can't for the life of me remember what this character's name is, but I'm pretty sure he ends up being an abuser.
Well, what about us?
You want to go?
I'll answer the foolish questions after you put on your basic black and a ribbon in your hair. Look, we can meet later, and you'll have time now for primping or whatever you have to do, huh? Come on, Jess. Honey, we haven't been anywhere or done anything in years. Let's make a night of it. How about it? Okay, what are we waiting for?
Okay.
See you later, Marge.
Yeah, have a nice, easy night.
Easy night.
I guess I did forget one thing.
What?
Well, you had a case presentation in the morning, and you were going to study for it tonight.
I said I might if I thought I had to. Look, I'm almost an authority on infectious hepatitis. I'm not afraid. I won't fall on my face.
Of course you won't. I just thought I'd remind you.
Oh, you think I should stick to my knitting as usual, huh?
No, not if you could.
Phil Brewer, thanks, Jake.
I said I am. Aren't we entitled to a little fun once in a while?
Okay, we'll go.
Okay.
Darling, please don't let what I said spoil the evening.
No. course not.
But yeah, I think Phil ends up being an abuser and abuses Jesse.
I'll wear the black silk, the one you like.
Jess, you've got to let me decide what I have to do. That's all. We've got to live as well as work. Yeah, you wear your black silk. You look great in that. Just great.
When was the first time they have a what story kind of one?
Well, you still awake?
Yeah, Phil was giving bad vibes already.
Oh?
You didn't go.
No, I had to stay for a patient.
You wouldn't stay for me.
You didn't need me, did you? Now, why aren't you sleeping?
I was thinking about things. About Eddie.
What about it?
Please let him come see me.
Sure. As soon as he comes.
Oh,
I'll
the
leave word.
first time they ever brought up Port Charles.
Maybe he won't want to see me now.
I don't
Why do
know.
you say that?
Yeah, because they didn't start with, you know,
Eddie's
they didn't
awful
state
good-looking.
what town this was in.
And good-looking boys are only interested in good-looking girls. They like to take it to nice places if she's good-looking.
Yeah, I don't know when they would have established that
He likes to
the
show
hospital
off.
was in Port Charles, New
I never
York.
thought about that.
There are a lot of things you never thought about Dr. Hardy. About the way girls think. About what kind of girl I am.
What kind of girl are you?
Let me ask you what. What kind of life did you have when you were a kid?
Average.
Average good or average bad?
Sort of in between.
Mine was all bad. I'm not kicking or anything. Just telling you.
Some of us had it rough, Angie.
I never had any of the things I wanted. Nice clothes. I mean, really nice clothes. Or a nice house to invite the boys to. We lived over Papa's grocery. He was always going to fix it up. Always going to fix it up, but never doing anything about it. Always scratching for a living. And watching me. To make sure I wasn't going to be a bad girl.
He had to be both mother and father to you. It's not easy for a man.
Maybe. But I didn't care. You know why, Dr. Hardy?
Why?
Because all I had to do was look in the mirror. And you know what I'd see? A pretty face. A really pretty face. Maybe beautiful even. I used to think when I was a kid, about 10 or 11, well, I had something that most of the other kids didn't have. And that made me so happy. You know what I mean, Dr. Hardy?
Yes, Angie, I think I do.
And all I had to do was look into a mirror, and I could see my face.
It isn't going to be so bad, Angie. Just trust me.
Isn't it interesting that we've seen Ava go through this?
I thought you did. At least I thought you were beginning to.
I'm going to tell you one thing. I don't trust anybody else. Nobody.
I'll settle for that.
Push me around and everything. You're good to me. You didn't even have to come in and see me tonight, but you did.
Feeling all right now?
Yes.
One thing I can
1977 was the first time they mentioned Port Charles.
If you let us, we
Interesting.
can help you.
Try to get some sleep, Angie. I'll see you first thing tomorrow.
Oh,
And also, see, this scene right
don't
here
worry about Eddie. all right?
shows just how good of a chief of staff Steve Hardy was.
I'm waiting for you to say all right, Angie.
Or a doctor.
Oh.
I don't know if he was chief of staff at this point. But he was clearly respected by this patient. And she was like, "You're good to me. You didn't have to be here to talk to me, but you were." She's like, "You may have pushed me around, but you're a good doctor. Caring doctor." "2017 Nurses Ball was a hot mess." Which, see, they all blend together for me now, Jake. What happened in the 2017 Nurses Ball?
Dr. Hardy.
Yes, it has. But I think it was worth it.
Yeah, but Ava was older, and if it wasn't that bad, she just needed to put on makeup. Yeah, this girl was troubled. But there you have it, folks. That's the first episode of GH. And also, I'm pretty sure that all the piano work was done live. ABC Television Network. All right.
I love it already.
Oh,
The stage
there's
is
your
yours.
glimpse of Canada's
Thank
Got Talent, y'all. We ain't gonna watch that. We will watch Lucy's debut. I'm just gonna mute that until this commercial passes. Or not Lucy's debut, but Lucy's reveal that she's not any mousy librarian. Just because we brought that up last week and said that we would track down the scene. I found it. Here it is. Let's watch it. Turn this down a little bit.
Are you looking for me?
Yes, I am. As a matter of fact. How'd you know?
Well, it seems to be my day for visitors.
I don't suppose one of them was my brother.
No, I don't think Kevin will ever forgive me.
I don't see why not. After all, you did save his life.
Yes, but
Not that
only
Kevin, I
after
don't think.
I put him in a great deal of jeopardy.
He came through in the end, and that's what counts.
I lied. There's no excuse for that under ordinary circumstances, and on the witness stand, it's a crime.
Well, not to me it isn't. Not when a person ultimately tells the truth. Lucy, look. For my part, I want to thank you. On behalf of my brother, my parents...
Yeah, not
and
Kevin
my
Collins.
sister-in-law,
I think they're talking about a different Kevin
I
here.
cannot begin to tell you how grateful we are.
Because Kevin
Well,
was not around yet. Neither was Ryan
I
Chamberlain, I
never
don't think.
expected thanks. Forgiveness was the most I could possibly hope for.
You put yourself through hell for Kevin, and we will never forget you for that.
Well, I appreciate you saying so. I'm just sorry that it had to come
Glad
to this.
Maxie told
It is
Lucy
over.
off.
It is now over.
Yeah.
So
I
let's
get
just put this
Lucy's,
mess
you
behind
know,
us. I know we certainly are.
need to be a part of the nurses' ball.
It won't be easy.
But yeah, let Maxie do
Maybe I
her
can help you
thing.
slip back into it.
You how?
Well, how about dinner with me sometime soon?
I don't know.
If Lucy wasn't letting her rivalry with
dinner with Patrick O'Connor.
with Bobby
In
get in the
the
way,
near
she knows
future.
that Bobby being a part of this year's nurses' ball makes perfect sense, and that she's probably the longest working nurse that's still at GH at this point. Kevin O'Connor. There we go, Mary. Thank you. Hey, Jacarius. A bit late. We watched the first episode of GH already. We talked about Epiphany and the tribute episode earlier, or before that. Now we're just watching Lucy's transformation from mousy librarian to the Miss Co that we know. Oh yeah, I bawled my eyes out too, Jakarius. Like, I was telling everyone, I weeped the entire time. I ugly cried, especially when Leslie Charleston's voice appeared on that phone. Oh my gosh, I lost it. Wonder why Bobby and Lucy don't like each other. They always used to butt heads at the nurses' balls in the 90s, I think. It was like her and Amy and her and Bobby did. Plus the whole Scotty with Bobby and Lucy thing is also a factor. There's always been a bit of a rivalry between those two. Master of disguise. The throwbacks too. The flashbacks. Lucy slept with Jake Meyer when he was married to Bobby. That's where. Oh, okay. Thank you, Mary. Mary with the GH trivia there. Appreciate you. Lucy cheated on Kevin with Scott back in 2014. She sure did. And the Scott factor. Yep. Yeah, Lucy's. Oh, Lynn Herring is gorgeous, you guys. She is a drop-dead gorgeous woman. Back then and now.
I'm sorry, I must have left the Pacino by mistake. Hi. What took you so long?
There we have it, folks. That was Lucy's transformation on the show. There we go. But yeah. Oh, you said it was good to see, yeah, Milo and Felix. Yeah, for sure. It's been ages. I never mentioned it earlier, but I really liked Milo, or Diane checking in with Milo and asking how Max was doing. I also like knowing that Milo and Epiphany apparently kept in touch, and she did talk to him about Marshall. That was a nice sort of, nod to their relationship. The nurse on Days of Our Lives on General Hospital. Did that happen? You're watching Staying Alive with John Travolta the other day. Oh yeah, Finola Hughes, she did dance with him in that movie. That's her claim to fame. She got to dance with John Travolta. As her start, so to speak. Three degrees of Kevin Bacon kind of thing. Remember when Diane and Max dated? Remember when Alexis walked in? Yeah, Alexis walking in on Diane and Max was hilarious because, like, Nancy Lee Grant's, like, scream, like, she was traumatized, yo. That was hilarious. Man. There's an old commercial with Finola Hughes from the year before she joined GH. They need to check out. It's for a Plymouth Duster. I'll definitely have to check that out sometime. Kaiwan, you didn't like Diane and Max? It was always filler. I didn't mind them. I liked that they gave Diane someone to have a relationship with. And filler isn't always bad, you know? In my opinion, anyway. Finola used to be a dancer. Yeah, hell yeah, she was. And she was also in Cats. As was Emma Sams. And, oh, Emma was a dancer as well? That doesn't surprise me. I mean, we've seen Finola dance on GH numerous times. Obviously, back in the day, it was with Duke, and even, you know, in the mid-2000s or, like, late, you know, 2013, 14 era, we've seen her dancing with Duke as well. She even danced with Andre Maddox, and she danced with Finn. Finola should be on Dancing with the Stars if she hasn't done it already. Oh, man. Y'all, I'm debating watching another old episode of GH. Not a full one. Oh, Emma's dancing career ended because of an injury? Interesting. Oh, I'm going to put my mood music back on for a little bit. Well, it is getting late. Maybe we shouldn't watch this. But I found Steve proposing to Audrey. But we could always save that for Sunday after we recap GH as well. I think it is getting a little bit late for you guys, right? And this is like a 17-minute thing. Oh, you have a feeling that GH will update their opening for their 60th anniversary? From your lips, Jakarius, GH needs a new opening desperately. And if they don't take the 60th anniversary opportunity to do so, I'm going to be so pissed. It needs... GH's intro is awful. And they need a new intro. The 30th anniversary episode has Angie. Yeah, that... I think I mentioned that, yeah. The 30th anniversary of GH, they brought Angie back to talk to Steve, I believe. Or, I don't... Wait, or was Steve... Did Steve already pass? At that point? I can't remember. But I do... I remember... I don't know if it's still on YouTube, but it was on YouTube, and I did watch that episode where Angie appeared again. And it was the same actress that played her, too. April 1st will be the anniversary of the Faces of the Heart opening. Well, I mean, yeah. The last time they did change the intro was for an anniversary. Oh, yeah, and that was the 30th. Yeah, that was the 30th anniversary episode. Oh, do I think I can find the 30th anniversary episode? It's hard to say. So many, like, YouTube channels that had, like, these milestone clips are gone now. You know what I mean? 30th anniversary. Oh, well, oh. Okay, it seems to be there. At least part of it is. I don't know if the full thing is, but there's definitely part 1, and I see part 5, but I don't see parts 2, 3, and 4. Oh, man. Okay, 30th anniversary was in 1993, and John died in 96. Okay. Yeah, and I can see him in the little thumbnail for the one clip that I can see in the 1993 episode of GH. It's of Stephen Audrey sitting out on the front of GH. Why can't GH be like Days and put everything on Peacock? I think they have everything up until... Do they really? Does Peacock actually have like the old episodes? Final ambulance closing was on March 31st. That I do know. I did see that. Yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, I would love to see a long intro for GH again. But I don't think we'll see a long one again. I think because there's so much more commercials now, like having like a minute and a half long opening would cut into time for the actual episode. And without all the commercials, GH is about 34 minutes long without commercials. Mary, I have been dissing this rendition of the opening since they premiered it. And if you believe it or not, and I don't know when you first started watching, but it was even worse not that long ago, because as fast as they shuffle through the cast pictures, it was 10 times faster at one point. At like oh, it's so awful. It looks like a really bad PowerPoint presentation. Like, honestly, honest to God, what they should have done, in my opinion, if it was going to be as short as it is, they should have just recreated the like original ambulance opening, because they still apparently, you know, they show like the original outside part of where the ambulance scene was shot initially from time to time. I know that they go in front of like the actual GH studio for some location shoots now. But every now and then we'll actually see the original spot of that abandoned, because I think the hospital that they used in that original opening, it's abandoned now. But they've shot outside of it before, just like as like a cutaway scene. And I think they even used it in a promo that was just like an overall GH promo at one point. Over the last few days, it just floored me how lazy and cheap it was. It is super cheap. And the thing is, like, I don't know if you've seen like the promo pictures that they put out like this week, Mary, but those promo pictures are fire. They look like they splurged on that, so that the least they can do is splurge on the damn opening again. If they can create fire promo pics, they can create a fire opening. But I would be just as content if they went back to that same abandoned hospital and drove an ambulance in front of it and put the GH title card without showing the cast. I'd be totally okay with that. Just, you know, it would be nostalgic and they wouldn't have to make it long. Technically, like the intro that they have now is just as long as that original intro was, so they might as well. The USC Medical Center in LA. Is it okay? So is that a functional hospital still, or is it an abandoned medical center now? Either way, they've shown it pretty recently, so they could just recreate the damn opening, and I would be okay with that, just in high definition. And I think it would be a great way to mark the 60th anniversary and a good callback to the OG intro. Remember the 2010 opening? I do. I didn't like that one very much either, but it was still better than anything that came after it. Like, I liked Faces of the Hearts, and I liked Sirens, which is the one that followed Faces of the Hearts. Just because it seemed like a more modern version of it. And then I felt like the 2010 version, it felt awkward. The 2010 version felt awkward. Like all the poses that they were doing didn't seem natural. They all looked awkward in that 2010 era for the opening. So this year they should do an episode of how they got the money to open GH. I don't know, because then they'd have to like kind of do what they did for the 52nd anniversary and have like current cast members play past cast members. It was a bit lackluster. Yeah, I agree. 2010 was like 2004 to 2010 opening was great, but it seemed like it could give you seizures. Yeah, it did. I will say that the Sirens one did like flash the characters in a bit of a weird way, and like you're right, because I can like picture it in my head where it was like Sunny, Carly, and then all of a sudden it would be like Jason, Sam, like just to like, I don't know, it was edited kind of weirdly. But the downfall of the Sirens opening was that by the like the final moment of that opening is like all the guys in their suits, right? And then Luke walks away. Which is funny because I always joke that was just Tony Geary leaving on vacation again. But like by the end of that opening's tenor, like half the people in that part of the opening were dead. Like they killed most of those characters off. Most of them weren't even on the show anymore. So it was just like it was like a glaring like part of the opening for a while. That 2012-2019 Skyline opening, yeah, that was awful too. And it just sounded, I don't know. The only good part about that is that they still kept the first 3 notes of like the GH intro that we all know and love. Whereas this current opening doesn't have it at all. Just be a 50-minute jazz solo. Faces in the Heart. Oh, it's still a functioning hospital. Okay, good to know. I'm still mad they fired Greg Vaughn after Jonathan returned. I do think that they did Greg Vaughn dirty, but with that said, I was really happy that I got to experience Jonathan Jackson as Lucky for myself. Because obviously I wasn't watching back when he originally played him, and I only really had, the YouTube clips to go off of. But to me, John Jackson is an amazing Lucky. And one hell of an actor. Not to say that Greg Vaughn isn't, but, Jonathan, he originated the role. He knows Lucky better than anyone. So he played him how I think Lucky would have ended up as an adult. Where I feel like, for whatever reason, when Greg was in the role, they really dumbed the character down. But as soon as Jonathan came back, it's like they started to write him as intelligent again. From 2012, the openings were trash. That's true. Yeah, like honestly, since Frank Valentini took over, the openings have all been trash. The background music's been trash. Like, disaster. Oh, you wish Sirens at least had an alternate opening that ended with a woman. That would have been cool. But that probably would have been equally as doomed because a lot of women died on the show as well or left randomly. All this Lucky did was cry. But he was good at it, Jacarius, okay? Jonathan Jackson did emotional scenes really well. And that poor guy, like, I did feel sorry for Jonathan because they put his character through the ringer the second he came into the role. I mean, he was already coming into the role in a sticky situation because Nicholas and Elizabeth were already having their affair at that point. I think they should have made Lucky a hospital doctor. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's hard to say where they would have taken the character of Lucky if Jonathan had stayed in the role after all those years. I don't think he would have become a cop. I really don't. But he did play the detective role well when Jonathan came back, though. JJ had to be dehydrated after leaving. Yeah, that poor man. Oh, Lord. But you know what? He got Emmys for it, so there you go. He earned his keep. And he won his trophy. Loved when Lucky dragged Liz and Nicholas. That was iconic. That was iconic. To be honest, and again, just for the record, I do love Greg Vaughn. Running like farm animals. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. Especially when Carly came in. Nah. Assistant Mayor is dead now. May she rest. I mean, first of all, and we're gonna talk about all this on Sunday, Kaiwan, but this girl was stupid to stick around in the room. She had every opportunity to grab that key and run. Every opportunity. They were gone for like 10 minutes, those two. She could have grabbed it and dipped. And they wouldn't have any idea where to look if she just like went straight to, you know, well, she doesn't know where the safe house is. She could have just went to wherever. She could have called Laura and just found out where she were or got them to meet her wherever. I truly think they had nothing else for Lucky to do in Port Charles after his last story. The character needed to take a break, but not this long. He needed to return to GH badly. He does need to. Well, the fact that Laura doesn't have any kids on the canvas right now is crazy. Lulu made sure everyone knew. Yeah, back in 2020. Yeah, the fact that Ava knew about the affair was weird, but whatever. Oh, man. But yeah. Both of Laura's children are in comas. Yeah, right? Crazy. Soaps would never let things off that easy. Don't think they can have any good cops on General Hospital because Lucky Sonny's there. Yeah, it's true. That's why they wanted to get rid of John McBain. Well, no, they had to get rid of John McBain because GH got sued for using his character. They would have kept him on, probably. Because John and Sam, you know, they were, like, pushing those two together. But, you know, GH didn't have the right to the characters in the way that they were using them. So Frank Dunn messed that up. John was the only character that I liked from the One Life bunch that came to GH. Ooh, and Lulu dragged her in front of everyone at the hospital. I missed Julie so much. Oh, she was so good. Julie was wonderful as Lulu. Liz ran 15 flights of stairs. Yeah. Man, it's been a while since we've had like a really good confrontational scene on GH. Yeah, I also disliked when the One Life to Live characters came in. Because I didn't care. I'm like, I get that a lot of people that watched One Life and All My Children, they kind of jumped to GH because that was all that was left, really. And so, like, all the One Life fans are really stoked to see them on GH and interacting with the characters. And I suppose if I had watched all 3 soaps, I would be, like, super into characters from other shows going in there. But I just wasn't, so I just didn't care. And especially, you know, having not been privy to any of the characters, like, anytime they were mentioning any of their characters' arcs from One Life, I was just like, why are we mentioning this? Why is this such a big story on our screen when we were on the heels of, like, GH's 50th anniversary back then? I really took issue with it. Alright, y'all, but I suppose we should end this live stream soon because it's getting late. I believe it's like, what, 1:15 where you are, Kaiwan, right? Good night, Kaiwan. But yeah, let's end this, you guys. I will be on this Sunday. Obviously, we're going to recap the show. I'm going to do my best. No promises, but I'm going to do my best to come on a little bit earlier so that we have time to also celebrate the 60th anniversary some more while also recapping the week that it was. I think we'll discuss. I'll put a post on my YouTube, like a little on the community page or whatever, maybe the day before, and see what you guys think if we do it like an hour earlier so that we have a bit more time to like recap but also celebrate a bit more and maybe watch that Audrey and Steve proposal that I was talking about. But yeah, take care, guys. Good night. Have a good rest of your week. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to. I'd really appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Mwah.